proper welcome. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what everybody remembered? We do it so we get them the proper welcome.
It's okay.
So our speaker tonight is a fellow vet, and I'd like to thank him for his service. He served 11 years in the Air Force until he was introduced to leadership materials such as John Maxwell and Stephen Covey. Boy, those are two greats. Those are actually the top of the line. He has invested the last 4 years serving others and getting the right information to change their lives in all areas of their life. So people looking for change, he's been there for them to help them along, and we're going to learn some fantastic things from Kyle Starr. Welcome.
Always looking to improve, right? So, how's everyone doing tonight?
Good!
Awesome. Cheer behind me. So, before I get into it, I want to kind of give a little bit more about my background a little bit, just so, because there's some new faces here. Some people know me, some people know me not so much. So, I was in the military 11 years, and some change. So, I've experienced a lot of leadership qualities and not so good qualities. Some great leaders and some not so good leaders, right? And I'm sure no matter what industry you're in or what field you're in, we've all kind of experienced that, right? Those people that are like, who let this guy in, right? But they're in charge. So how do they get to be in charge? Was there a special deal? Did they know someone's brother? Were they a family member? So I'm going to talk about a few things that'll help kind of put things in perspective of how we can get to the end result that people kind of leave out along the way. So, Bill mentioned that I was introduced to some leadership material that kind of changed my life. So I've been kind of on a mission to kind of pay that forward to get those same materials or information for people who want it. I'm not here to like sell or throw it at people and just, oh, you gotta have it, you gotta have it, you gotta. No, it's here if you want it, if you're looking for it. So, it kind of reminds me of the Kevin Costner movie, The Guardian. Anyone seen that? It's kind of an older movie with Ashton Kutcher. And Ashton Kutcher asked Kevin Costner, and they're Coast Guard rescue swimmers, right? So they go out and rescue people. And he asked them, hey, how do you know which ones to save? And Kevin Costner says, the ones that want to be saved, right? So how do you know what people to help? Well, the ones that want the help, right? So, to get started in this, I'm going to kind of start at the end and work backwards, because I worked for Quentin Tarantino, so. Yeah. So I'm going to start with results. How many people love that word? Results.
Yes.
Right? So when you hear that word, it's like you have that picture in your mind of what does that mean to you, right? Does it mean more income, better relationships, right? What does results mean for you, right? Well, how do we get here, right? A lot of people are like, okay, this is where I want to go, but where are my steps? Where's my path? How do I kind of focus and get there? Well, would we all agree we need to take some action, right? Makes sense, right? Can't sit there and sit on the couch and be like, oh, here I come, I'm going to be there. And I'm successful. It doesn't really work that way, does it? We actually get in motion, right? I believe they call them armchair quarterbacks or coaches. Backseat drivers. Or sometimes side seat drivers. That's even more interesting because they're there to grab the wheel. That's kind of scary. But to get to action, we gotta get some better thinking, right? Einstein said it this way: the same problem, the same level of thinking that created the problem, I need better thinking or different thinking to solve that problem. Well, how do I get better thinking or just better thinking? Well, I'm going to need information. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now that we went backwards, let's put it all back together, okay? So, information leads to thinking, which leads to your actions, which gets you your results. And you can use this. This is so powerful. So in the next 4 hours, I'll make this quick. You can apply this to any area of your life. Any area. It doesn't have to be just business. It can be whatever area you want to use this for. So I like to call this kind of like a formula for ultimate result or ultimate achievement, or you can coin it the success formula. Everyone likes to hear that, right? Success formula. Here it is. It's a secret. It's really not that complicated. Who doesn't like to complicate things? Right? Let's keep things simple, right? I'm that guy. All right, and I like to have fun. Who wants to have fun? All right. 2 of you. All right, cool. You're my people. We'll talk later. But a lot of people fail in this formula, usually right about here. Right? Myself included. I'm not saying I'm something spectacular. Because we can get all the information, read all the books, and go to all the seminars, and get all the thinking, and then sit on it. Right? People do all the time when they go to those wonderful seminars, they're up like, woo, yeah, I'm fired up, I'm going to change the world, yeah! And they go home and sell the guy.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you do that? Or they go back to their job or their industry, and they're fighting an uphill battle. They got all that energy, and they're hitting a wall over and over and over again. And they're like, well, I guess, well. And then that kind of brings them back down, and now they're just kind of grounded. Right? So I'm going to change this up a little bit. So better information leads to better thinking, leads to better action, which equals better results. Every time. The question is, where do we get our information? How many realize I like to use this one as an example. The leadership and self-help industry has a lot of awesome stuff, and it's got some not so awesome stuff, right? And the one example I like to use is a marriage book that was written by someone who isn't currently married, and it's a bestseller. How many realize that if you're in a relationship and you're married, you want to learn from someone who's been married a long time, that still looks like they're dating, right? Now all the single people are like, I don't get it. I'll get you that. It's okay. Hang with me here, okay? Yeah. Or if you're, or people who give financial advice or financial advice, and finances aren't so great, right? Like that special brother-in-law that you might have. Or like my actual brother, he always wants to give me some kind of, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and his finances are a train wreck. Not a good source of information, am I right?
Right.
Well, why do we take that information in, right? It's in college. When I took a couple college classes, and nothing wrong with college. It's great for certain people and what they want to do. Nothing wrong with that. But it just didn't feel like that was a good fit for me, right? So there's plenty of people that works for. But they always want you in college to cite your sources, right? It's like, where's your source? Bob over here. That guy? Really? That's your source? That's not a good source, right? You have to have someone credible in that area. Why don't we do that to our whole life, right? Make sense? So where do we get our information? You go like this. Someone in this room will like this. Books! Somebody's doing the backflips right now. Books, right? You can get so much information from successful people because they write it down in a book and say, here you go. But it's also in plain sight. Guess what? A lot of people don't read books. Like, oh, you don't read. I'm too cool for that, right? Well, okay. And you wonder why you're not getting the results you want, right? How about audio CDs, right? Or audio books, right? How many have like a 20-minute or more commute around, right? That is some key time you could be putting some good information in, right?
Oh yeah.
And people, how many realize that we have so many time-saving devices, utilities, whatever you want to call them, right? but we're still so busy, right? How does that work? But people say, oh, I don't have time to read. Well, I don't have time to listen to audio. But you drive 2 hours. You got to find the time, right? If you want to get here, we have to make the time to get the information in, to get this thing going, right? And I mentioned this one earlier. Seminars, right? Seminars. Successful people hold seminars saying, hey, this is what I did. Here's how you do it, right? It could be any industry. It could be any field. There's relational. I got to watch these misspeaks. There's relational seminars. There's money seminars. There's a seminar for pretty much anything you can think of, right? To me personally, I find it a little more valuable than certain college classes. I'll leave it at that. But my key, here's a key one though too, that people don't utilize enough. I'll see if I can make it big enough. Hopefully it comes up. A mentor, right? Someone who's gone through the minefield, has big feet and both of them. And they've gotten to the end and say, hey, follow me. And they're willing to come back and show you the path that they put down for you, right? There's a lot of people here willing to mentor you, no matter what industry you're in. Some people might charge you for their time. Hey, okay. Some people might do it for free. Just depends on what you're looking for. But a mentor is probably the best way to get that information, to get to here as fast in a short amount of time as possible. But the thing is, there's people that sit with a mentor, they get the information, and they get the thing, and they still don't take any action. So now you're wasting not just your time, but the mentor's time too. So you kind of got to ask yourself, am I really wanting this? Do I want this bad enough? Right? And Bill mentioned earlier about goals and goal setting and that vision, right? Well, the thinking we broke down to goals, plans. Goals and plans. What are you planning to do to get to your goal every day, right? And there's actually something else that I like to do that. If you haven't hit here to your results, I'm going to let you in a little key information here to help you with that. It's called PDCA. Plan, do, check, and adjust, right? Some of you might have heard of this quality, QTQ, quality, total quality, something or other. Anyway. Alright, watch that one. Edit that one.
Okay.
And do, check, and adjust. Right? I always like that. Fun. I like that, know everything. So if you have a plan to get the information in, right? And you're going to go do, and you got the thinking, and you're going to go do and take the action, and you're not at your results, time to adjust, then go back and try again, right? Okay, I hit my result. Great. What's your next goal? Or what's your next vision that you're going to hit? Alright, do you have your plan? Are you going to take the action? Did you get the result? You can do that over and over and over. It's kind of redundant, right? But it works. It's so effective. And one thing about the action, there's two things I like to break down on the action is there's respond. Or react. Right? If you go to the doctor's office and you get some medicine and your body responds, that's a good thing. It's positive, right? But if your body reacts, that's negative. That's bad, right? Depending on what comes at us in our circumstances in our lives, based on what kind of information we have, we're going to either respond or react. Many people are like, oh, I just can't, because man, you don't understand, Kyle. My circumstances, man, I'm just so buried in my circumstance. And sometimes I was like, well, why are you underneath there? Get out.
Yeah.
Right? Don't be in your circumstance. Move along. Let's go. So depending on what information we have, or what we're going to think, and the action we're going to take to respond or react to that situation will lead us to that certain result. Right? Does that make sense? To you. All right. Some of you get on the way home like, oh, I got it. All right. But that's a basic breakdown of what I really want to cover, because you're like, this is 2015. You're out the gate. You're getting going. what better can we do to get you set up to get those results you want than give you a plan of action to do, right? Or a plan of attack, excuse me. To get the information, to get thinking, to take action to get the results you want, right? But if I covered something up, but I want to show this. This is a sample core area, okay? Of a category maybe you want better results in. Faith, right? Family. How many want better relationship with maybe your family or something, right? Right? Finances, right? I got both ends of that one, right? We all want better results in that area, right? Fitness, right? Get with Wade and Bill with that, you know? Fallen, which is leadership. Freedom. How many realize our freedoms are getting eroded away daily, it seems like, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Friends. How many want more friends?
Oh.
And I'll clarify that definition because that word friend has been kind of diluted over the years, right? Thanks to a certain online website.
Facebook?
I didn't say it.
Come on now.
But I'll break the friend kind of down just a little bit because I like to elaborate. Great friends help you move. Or excuse me, good friends help you move. Great friends help you move a body. So, how many really want some great friends when you need them, right? How many want more fun, right? Better results in fun. I don't have time for fun. Well, kind of, okay. Let's see now. Right? Because if you're kind of uptight all the time, no one wants to be around you if you're not having fun. So that just comes kind of some sample areas to kind of think about of where do you want to take 2015? Where do you want your results to be? Right? The year is fresh. You're starting anew. And there's some exciting things on the horizon coming. But there's one thing I kind of want to end with, because I told Lassie to make this really quick. Because this is so effective, I don't need to really elaborate much more. And we got started kind of like, that's okay. I'll forgive him this time. It's one three-letter word that some people don't ask enough. Why? Why do I get out of bed? Why am I doing this? Why? That could even lead to certain things of what's going on around me. Why are they trying to pass new legislation to tax me more? Why? Not just, oh, it's a good idea, okay, I'll pay more for help, schools and stuff, okay, great. Right? But why? What is your passion? Know your why. Okay? Does that make sense? And the thing that this all really leads up to is growing in who you need to become to get those results and maintain them. Does that make sense? Who do I need to be to hold my business, my community, my job, whatever it is that you're doing, right? Together. How can I be that example for that person, right? There's two things I like to mention is there's messaging and modeling. So I can sit here and talk all day long about awesome information stuff, but if I don't model that behavior and that action, people are like, what? But when people see that, and it can even be in relationships too. When people see that perfect relationship being modeled, like, oh, that's what that looks like. I just read about that. Oh, how many people can you influence with that, right? Johnny said it best, be the change you want to see in the world, right? But that goes to taking action and really stepping up to who do I need to become to influence those people that are going to give me the results I want. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. So I appreciate everyone coming out. I told the last time I keep it really short, but it's just powerful stuff that I don't really need to elaborate on. Did everyone get some value from that? Yeah? So simple, right? And if you have any questions, I'll stick around. So.
Hey, have any questions for Kyle?
Why?
Why not?
Kyle, how about you share with us some of your things you have to offer? What do you have to offer? I mean, you got to make us a pitch, Kyle.
All right.
Even though we don't like the pitch here, we still have to make us one.
Right. So, something that Elias mentioned is some of the information I have access and available to on a subscription, right? So, But people are like, oh, I can't quite afford it. I don't, well, you get the hem and haw and stuff. That's fine. If you give me 3 people that want to subscribe to the same subscription you want to subscribe to, yours is completely free. Okay? So it's a 3 for free program. Does that make sense? So I'm also going to give everyone here a sample CD to take with them. I have them in my car. I forgot to bring them in. So everyone here will at least get 1 CD to take home with them to sample. Okay? Does that sound cool for everyone?
Yeah.
Awesome. Because we like to try things before we buy them. Do we not?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So we have several subscriptions based on what information you want. Okay? If you want more leadership type material, we have a LR subscription for that. If you want more kind of life kind of subscription, we have a subscription for that. And there are 4 audio CDs and a book a month. And they come from people who are currently have results in what they're talking about. So it's not pontificating. It's not something someone did 20 years ago and saying, oh, look, 20 years ago I did this and it works. You could try doing it and see what happens. Right? How do you like that? Current results from people who are actually doing what they're saying they're doing. I like that too, right? So, and those 2 subscriptions are $50, okay? Fair enough, right? Not too bad. There's some that are more, some less. But those are the 2 main subscriptions we have. And I'll get into my car and give you guys all sample CDs so that way you guys can kind of sample that. But if you want more information, I'll be more than happy to get with me afterward. We'll go through some more information. But I appreciate Elias bringing me up and letting me speak to you guys. I know a lot of you guys here, which is awesome. I love having fun with you guys and hanging out. But I really want to get you guys here. But we need to get this first. Does that make sense? So, I hope that helps.
All right. So next, I guess we're going to have our drawing.
Yeah, we're talking about results. Anybody would like a little mastermind session? A little bit of help with their business. You got a lot of great minds here. So anybody not put a card in for this raffle, we give away a few minutes. We give about 2-3 minutes of masterminding. Is that okay with everybody?
If you have a question, we'll try and help you with your business or what challenge you have. Give you input.
If you're due for a win, I can't let you have it, but you want to reach in there?
She's gonna make her take it.